As a veteran submarine officer with a PhD in mechanical engineering, what would this UFO have to do to convince me it was an alien? Because if the president unveiled the Roswell spacecraft at Area 51, I still might not believe it. That's just second-hand witness testimony like 80 years later. The evidence I want to see needs reliable measurements and behavior that known engineering can't explain.
Did someone say evidence? Detective Indiana is back on the case.
Oh, really? What crimes have you solved?
As you know, I recently solved the case of the unidentified falling objects and the case of the 3 a.m. hallway disturbance.
You already admitted that was just you running away scared after you knocked a glass off the counter.
Detective Indiana always obtains a confession.
Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So how extraordinary does a claim have to be before I can jump past secret military tech and get me to thinking aliens? And what kind of evidence would I even consider extraordinary?
I collected my first 2 pieces of evidence, and they definitively prove the UFOs are angels.
There's 3 devastating problems that affect a lot of UFO videos. The first is measurement error. So our tools sometimes lie to us if we don't interpret them properly or if they're used in a manner not intended. I just don't believe that the things in these videos are star-shaped. It really just looks like camera artifacts to me, like lens flare. The second is context. It looks like this object is moving super fast low over the water, but it's an illusion caused by parallax. The apparent speed is mostly the camera moving super fast, which makes the water move super fast. The UFO could just be drifting in the wind like a bird or a balloon. The third major problem, this footage is described as authentic footage from a highly credible witness. What am I even looking at here? I mean, listen to the description of this clip. An orb floated above a pond 1/2 mile away. Footage was captured by an iPhone in New England in 2024. 2024, not the 1960s. It says 2024 iPhone footage. This blurry mess, I don't even see the pond. Bro, you're killing me, Smalls.
If there was an alien spaceship a 1/2 mile away from me, for 45 minutes, I would walk over to investigate. After all, curiosity killed never hurt anyone.
Yeah. What are you? Some kind of scaredy dog?
All right, Serenity, suppose we get crystal clear footage with enough context to measure it. Before calling it alien, we need a baseline. So what are the fingerprints of every known man-made aircraft?
I know propellers.
What about jets?
Turbine blades are just fancy propellers.
And hot air balloons?
The blimp-shaped cat is right. Not all aircraft require machinery or even moving parts at all. Besides balloons, there are satellites with ion engines with no moving parts. They use electricity to push tiny charged particles backwards, which pushes them forwards. In the atmosphere, there are experimental versions that don't need to bring any fuel with them. They can actually ionize the air around them and push themselves forward by charging the air itself. But even these designs still use energy and momentum. So, all right, as a mechanical engineering professor, here's what I would look for in all man-made aircraft. First, the material structure represents its maneuvering capabilities. Balloons are slow-moving blobs.
Hey, why is the camera pointing at me?
Fighter jets are metal aerodynamic acrobats. So vehicles are built to withstand the G-forces they will be subjected to. Second, momentum exchange with air or propellant or photons or fields. Momentum is both the engineer's best friend and our biggest obstacle. And third, all human vessels in the atmosphere, they all interact with the air. Planes can leave contrails, helicopters create wind, fighter jets have sonic booms, engines generate waste heat. Even hot air balloons slowly displace the air around them. You can find a lot of clues about an aircraft just by studying the thermodynamics and fluid mechanics of the air around it. All right, Detective Indiana, go find us some suspects to investigate.
Suspect number 1. This alleged alien is charged with impossibly fast acceleration.
F equals ma. Higher acceleration means higher forces on the vehicle, which means higher stress inside the structural components. And if stress gets too high, the ship literally rips in half.
And the pilot inside the ship turns to churu.
Only if the engine relies on surface forces, a push from physical contact, which is basically every engine ever made. But an impossibly high acceleration could suggest some sort of body force related propulsion using gravity or electromagnetic fields. A vehicle accelerating by a manipulated gravity field might not feel any G-force acceleration at all, because a body force can pull the entire ship all at once, not just the engine. A spaceship that could accelerate impossibly fast without ripping itself in half, that would be a truly sci-fi discovery that would shake our understanding of physics and material science.
So, guilty? Aliens confirmed over Syria?
Always read the official description. The sensor stops tracking the area of contrast, causing it to rapidly exit the right side of the frame. Instant acceleration is just the uploader's title. The acceleration occurs exactly when the camera motion starts panning up instead of tracking the vehicle to the right. The UFO in this clip didn't necessarily change speed at all.
Let's store this evidence in the circular filing cabinet.
Detective Indiana can't work this case alone. I need your help. Smash that like button to deputize yourself and put your verdict in the comments. Guilty or not guilty? Suspect number 2. This alleged alien is suspected to be using a reactionless drive by flying over a dusty road without kicking up any dust. Busted.
Imagine a helicopter close to the ground. The rotor wash makes a huge dusty mess. This is visible momentum exchange. If you don't want to move dust-free, you'd need something like the EmDrive. Back in the year 2000, a dude claimed he built a spaceship engine that could operate based purely on electricity with no expelled propellant. This engine basically flipped the bird to the conservation of momentum. But even more surprising, in 2016, NASA scientists failed to debunk this engine. They too reported apparent measurable thrust from their experimental EmDrive.
Problem was, the measurements were wrong. In 2021, researchers at Dresden University showed that the apparent thrust was a false positive, caused by heat expansion of the test equipment and magnetic interference with the sensors. So, conservation of momentum is still the undisputed heavyweight champion of space travel.
So what's the verdict? I've got multiple federal agent eyewitness statements that the aliens did not bounce or move with the terrain, and they weren't kicking up dust on a dusty desert road, my suspect is clearly guilty. Aliens confirmed. Right?
I don't know. There's some discrepancies between the witness statements, like different distances.
And some people think that the see-through spiderweb-looking things that they saw were, wait for it, spiderwebs. They call it ballooning, and spiders can fly for miles with these things.
And I can totally see how those would be super ghostly and scary, especially in the dark. But the same witness saw something else the next day as well, which he drew in this sketch. What am I even looking at here?
It's upside down.
Oh. Yeah, I still understand it the same amount.
Case on hold. Documents are boring. Bring me a new suspect with a video this time.
Suspect number 3. Uploader titled this In and Out of Water. I've got an alleged alien ignoring drag. This has to be the smoking gun.
I've said before, drag is the final boss for all vehicle propulsion. If you're a car, that's where all your gas money goes. It's overcoming wind resistance. And obviously, drag is way worse in water than in air because it's so much more dense. So an object that could pass through them both without any change in speed would totally upend the entire field of fluid mechanics.
I can travel through air and water at the same speed.
0 miles per hour doesn't count as a speed.
But there's 2 problems with this clip. First, I'm not entirely convinced the objects are actually passing underwater. That's just one person's interpretation when they named the file upload. I can sort of see it because of the dimming. It does kind of look like it's dipping in and out of the water. But tons of things could be causing that dimming. What we really need is another camera angle to help us establish altitude and speed, which you can't get from just this one shot.
There's a submarine right there. Let's just ask them.
No corroborating video from that submarine. That's the main problem. I was a submarine officer. I was officer of the deck up in that sail. That's me right here. And if that's me in this clip, and there's a bunch of UFOs zooming all around, guaranteed I'm on the radio. Hey, Chief of the Watch, there's like 5 glowing UFOs zipping around. Find the captain, tell him to get up here with a camera. Over. And just an aside, it's probably drones. Submarines carry drones. We can't fly them underwater. So if any sailors need training or quals, we pop up to the surface, let 6 of them all fly the drones around at once, finish up, and dive back under. And maybe if the captain's feeling generous, we get to do a swim call while we're up there. But I'm pretty confident in saying that everything in this video could be explained without invoking aliens.
Charges dropped for insufficient corroborating evidence.
And that's something missing from most UFO files that really dominates everything else. Reproducibility. I want to see independent observers making high-quality measurements that are consistent with each other.
Like how I consistently steal Indiana's snacks.
And our independent observer does nothing to stop it. Help!
Remember the good old days for UFOs when people all got abducted by the same flying saucer and they all got probed by the same little gray men? Those people had no credibility, but at least they had their stories straight. Today's UFO files are 100 different vehicles telling 100 different stories. Now, okay, the aliens might have brought more than one style of spacecraft with them. Fine, but we should still be seeing the same one, behaving the same way, more than once. So some of our observations need to converge to repeated measurements of what we think is the same spacecraft. That would start to get my attention. I mean, You want your evidence to all point to the same suspect, right, Indy?
All right, I confess. This is my spaceship. I'm an alien. Detective Indiana cracks another case.
You're always the perpetrator.
A literal alien right here in front of me. I'm still not convinced. But if you want to watch one of Detective Indiana's more Earth-based previous cases, click the video linked on the screen here.